For as long as I can remember, my dream was always to become a content creator. As a kid, I had multiple gaming channels and thought I'd be the next big, next big Minecraft YouTube channel, or the next big streamer, or the next professional gamer. As you can see, that didn't really work out because now I'm here, I'd say, making self-improvement videos and like fitness, which is, for better or worse, I'd probably say better than if I was a professional gamer right about now. So it was the end of high school. I think it was like after graduation, I took a gap year, which was in 2021. Not sure what month I graduated in. But long story short, throughout high school, I tried to start a lot of businesses. I tried to make multiple YouTube channels, as I already mentioned. And let's just say I took a gap year still planning to make it big through content creation or business. To be honest, I had no clue what I was doing. And 2 months into my gap year, I had nothing to show for it. I had done absolutely nothing with my life. My parents always wanted me to go to university or college. It was kind of just, like pushed upon me since I was younger. It was like what was known as normal, I guess you could put it. But like deep down, I always knew that that wasn't for me, and that I never had the intentions to go to any sort of secondary school after finishing high school. So they'd always come to me and ask kind of what my plan is, like what my life plan is. And to be honest, I never really had an answer because I knew I didn't want to do school. I knew I didn't want to work like a normal 9 to 5 career. And because of that, I kind of felt like a failure for not following a normal path, because here I am 2 years after graduation. All my friends are going to post-secondary school, and here I am sitting at home living off my parents, working a part-time job as a dishwasher, making minimum wage. So I felt like a loser. And during those gap years, my parents would come to me so often, kind of just repeating what they'd say. They'd be like, "So what are you going to do next?" And they'd suggest me career options that I have no interest in at all. And I would always just say, like, I'm still figuring it out as an excuse. I would never be honest. And because at the time I still had this vision where I build a business online or I start making YouTube videos. I had this vision, and I was too scared to share it with anyone because I didn't even believe in myself. So why should I expect someone to believe in me? And because I felt like failure, because I felt like shit, there was this one day where my mom, did the typical sit down and talk about career, talk about life stuff. And she suggested me this. There was this promotion going around for this new military program in I'm from Canada, so it would be the Canadian Forces. And it was this experience program, Navy experience program. And my mom suggested that to me and said, "It's only a year, you get paid, and you can leave after." And I thought about it. I'm like, why not? What else am I doing? Like right now I'm doing nothing. I'm just playing games, watching porn, and going to the gym occasionally, and then repeat, doing nothing with my life. Maybe working a couple of shifts every week. So I thought, why the hell not? So I applied online. I filled out this long ass survey, and then I left it at that because it's the military. It takes a long time for them to actually respond to that stuff. So I knew it'd be like a couple months before I actually got a response. All right. So after I applied, it was around that time that I don't know what caused like the motivation. Maybe it was just from me doing nothing for too long. But I started actually getting my sleep schedule on point. I started working out more consistently, and I joined this online program. You probably know what it is, but it's the Real World, Andrew Tate's community. Just probably saw it in a reel or something and thought, why not? I'll learn some skills, since it was like $50 per month. So I started learning business and started building a personal brand. And let's just say that really changed my mindset for the better. I started waking up at 5 a.m. every single day. I got in the best shape of my life because my cut was going good. I hit like 175 pounds. I weigh more than that right now. And I was going for runs every night, and I was building my personal brand. And I actually hit 1,000 followers on X, and was getting a lot of momentum going. I hit it within a few weeks. And that really opened up my mind and got me thinking this could actually work. And I was having fun. I was working every day, and I was actually having fun. Like I was waking up, I was working, and I felt like I was moving toward like my future vision, like my dream life that I have envisioned in my mind. I felt aligned with my work. And then it happened. The letter came in the mail. I got the acceptance letter emailed to me. I was going to join the military, leave my home, travel 10 hours on a flight to Quebec, which meant I had to drop everything that I was building online. Sure, I could have said no, but seeing how happy my parents looked, seeing how proud my mom looked when I told her that I made it in or got accepted, and the fact that she told every single one of my family members that I got accepted into the military. So it's not like I could say no and not feel guilty. You know what I mean? I had people telling me that, like online, that knew me on my social media, that I shouldn't leave and that I'm almost there. But I just couldn't say no because I had nothing to show for it. I had made $0 at the time. So it's not like I could say no. I needed that. I needed to do something with my life. How could I back out after all of that? You know how sad that would make my parents feel? I just couldn't bear to do that. And I'll skip the whole story about what happened in the military because I'll tell that a different time because boy, do I have a lot of stories from that. So long story short, yes, it helped with a lot of like mindset and stuff. Like we had to wake up at 5 a.m., 4 a.m. every single day, usually go to bed by 10. And like, as much as it helped with the mindset, it also got me into some very bad addictions such as drinking. Because we'd get the weekends off when we were in the military. Other than that, all week we'd stay in base. But for the weekends, the platoon members and me, we would make plans to go clubbing and we'd go drinking and get really fucking drunk. We'd get just wasted, like we'd be walking around the street like drunk or waking up on the streets. And let's just say that that ingrained itself in my mind. So when I got back from basic training and I was back home, right away, I tried to go back to my old lifestyle and immediately tried to start posting content again and building my brand. And yeah, that didn't work. All my momentum was gone. My mindset was in like the gutter. I had like such a lack of confidence at the time. And I had just lost all the discipline that I built over the couple months before I left for the military. So like for months I just spiraled. All I would do was go to work. I'd come back, I'd scroll on my phone, I'd eat junk food. I'd go to the gym 2 or 3 times a week at best, and that was my life. And because I knew what I was missing out on, because I was disciplined before, I knew that I was ruining my potential. And that's why it hurt so much. That's why it was the worst couple months of my life. Because every day I wanted to get back into the grind, but it just never worked. And that hurt. Eventually, I got my shit together though after a few months and I started building online again and I made my way up to almost 2,000 followers and I was actually really close. I was hopping on like sales calls and I was really close to making it work around the time when my contract for the military was ending. And of course, since the contract was ending, once again, my parents pushed me to stay in and apply to like a real contract, which would be like 5 to 10 years, which would be like working on ship or something, which I also never planned to do. Originally, I planned to just get in for the year and then leave and after making some money. So I left despite most people saying I should stay in and keep working. And even to this day, when I talk to relatives or family or friends, I still get asked the same question. So how's that military thing going? And I have to say, oh, it was good, but I'm not doing that anymore. And then they go with the next question, which is, oh, what are you doing now? And I never have an answer for that because as much as I want to say like I'm creating content or building a business, I don't have anything to show for it yet. So I always revert back to the same answer. I'm figuring things out. And then I say like, oh, I have 2 years to get back into the military if I want. So I use that as a kind of a excuse to stall for time. But yeah, so like in the end, the military kind of just broke me down mentally and emotionally and kind of ruined the discipline that I did have. But at the end of the day, it also made me stronger. Because sure, I went through hell during those 5 months. That just made me stronger because now I know what I have to look forward to if I give up on chasing my dreams. So yes, I do regret joining and leaving everything that I was building. But now I'm back. I'm chasing my dreams, and that's what matters. And this time, I'm not gonna stop.